I'm in that mood. I'm in that mood, okay? And I really don't want to look down at my book. I want to be able to see the screen and read over here. At the same time, I see my hand passing over here. But I want to look right at you. I want you to be able to see into my eyes. Am I telling the truth? Emma Swan, you know Emma Swan. Swan swims, swam. What do I do? Who is Mr. Tackpants? What do? I try to bring, I want to set up, but before I do anything, let me tell you that I need to make the perfect world. And the perfect world actually sits like this. How you would like things to be, how you set them up to work, like taking a bearing at each end, putting the core or the tube, and turning the tube, and both bearings are turning exactly. No, not true. If the both bearings are not fixed, you'll be turning the bearings with the stick. Now, if the bearings are fixed, but the rod is not straight, or larger at one end and smaller at the other end, what size bearings do you have? And for that size bearing, at the speed of what this is turning on this end and this end, how many times will this go around to this go around if the bearings were different in each end, but the entire thing turning around at the same time? It all gets turned around. This turned around once. How long does it take for me to turn this whole thing around? Whether I take it and do it this way, or I take it and do it this way, the only difference is it'll take me a little bit longer, and the periods every time I stop will be smaller and take up less of an area space of what we have as, what numbers do we get? The ink that's inside the 360 degrees, that comes out to a point and comes out in an area space that's being moved on something that you're writing on, sitting inside a larger tube. What is that tube? And it's sitting in the tube, but there's the complete area space, the area space used in here for the ink. I don't want to be interrupted. I don't want to hear the knock at the door. If I own the building, right, if I have this building as mine, and there might be an advantage, like if somebody knocks at the door, I won't hear him knocking 4 times. I'll know I'm the owner of the building. There's nothing you really have to tell me. Yes, I can see the red smoke in the background, I understand. But don't interrupt me. Because when I connect, when I feel I connect, when I think I connect, when I believe that I know I connect, but the vision of knowing and understanding is that I know. And you can say, well, you don't actually think, that you don't actually know what you think you know. It's not exactly that way. So what I know as I know it, from whatever and wherever and whatever it was, is what I know. And if you can imagine and think, or if I speak about what I know and I share what I know and you know different of the same thing, that we would now need, what would we need? We would need to analyze the two, to see the difference, to see which one is it right? Is it wrong? Right now, it's different. To distinguish the actuality of what it could have been, actually what it was, but only at the moment right now can you see what I did. Any recreation or anybody coming in or any reproduction may not show you my hands going down exactly like that. One of the reasons is this planet Earth, the area space I stand, has moved as we move through space. But if we're on the ground and not moving at all, then possibly the area space around us moved, giving us different coordinates because, let's say I'm in this here, but this whole thing moves over here. My head has the same coordinates, right? Does it? Does my head have the same coordinates because the outside moved? Or does my head have the outside coordinates now? You like the gray shirt looks blue, right? Doesn't it look blue? You see my blue shirt? Are you looking at my blue shirt or are you looking at my gray shirt? Is it my gray shirt or my blue shirt? Was it a blue elephant or was it a gray elephant? Now when you start thinking blue and gray and you I lift this hand up here, you look down, you see the pink. It's not pink, it's white. But some people might see pink. In fact, you might see my hand as being pink. My hand is white. And actually, it's not even my hand, it's a ghost. I mean, I can show you. Watch, watch. Watch my hand come out. I want to extend my hand. It's not a real hand. It's not a real hand. It's not my hand. Eh? It's not my hand. So now what was I saying? We have court. I said the word court. Now what's the first thought on your mind? I wish I was live right now. First of all, does anybody know what we're doing? We want everything to be new. Why new? Was is new. What's new? New means in French, it means new. Me and you, we, us. New. Is it brand new? Is it a new brand? And is the brand is new? And what's new that the brand made? New being brand new, or neuf, because neuf in French means something that is new. It also means 9. So if something that is new can be reversed, are you a new or an old new? Because if 6 and 9 can be reversed, from birth to death, something gets old. So how new is something that is old? Because we every single day, the mind is refreshed and renewed. Just like, is it new gas or old gas? I used up all the gas in the tank. There's possibly a fraction of gas that was left over that might be completely left over. I don't know how that works, but there's no gas in the tank, and I just filled it up again. I put a brand new. Did I put brand new or I just added? So ways to talk about different wording. We did this yesterday. I showed you shell, right? Which is 5, 4, 3, 7, 7. Shell 7, 7, 3, 4, 5, or everything in a shell. What can 7 and 7 mean? If you have 2 7s together, if you have 3 7s together, can it be 7 here to this side and 7 here to this side, and then 7 up? 7 up, 7, 7, 7. Take a look at my arms, what it does. Right? Well, this is what my arms do, right? What is this? This is the 90 degree. I come to my head. Now I would have a flat part go around. I go over the head. It's no longer, whoop, I dropped my pen. It's no longer 90 degrees. This angle here, and it actually looks like my last design that I made. I need another pen. Don't run away with my pen, cats. This is what it looks like on paper. The one that goes above my head and where my fingers touch is over here, and the one where I run the 90 degrees comes to the top of my flat head and then shows me this design over here, right? See that it almost looks like the Superman sign inside of this, the 2 ways I put it. The Superman sign, the 2 angles, right? First it's this one, right? And then it's, anyway, so we did that crazy stuff. What do I do here? Who is Mr. Tankman? I started at the beginning. I want to bring your mind to your own self, where you can create your own self-happiness by knowing the difference of something that nobody else really cares about, something that has created this planet, has actually been manifested on this earth, that we actually see this way. The spiritual mechanism that helps the eye see and tells it all the stories numerically. Time, space, time doesn't exist. Time and space. Action, is it action, reaction as one word? Because T-I-O-N, reaction, R-E-A, action, and action. Without the R-E, without the 9-1. Everybody knows you flip 9-1 upside down, it becomes 6 and 1. You can actually put a hook and call the 9, actually you can call the 9, you can actually call a Q. The 9 is a Q, right? Although sometimes they make the 9 this way, or do they make the 9 this way? This way it looks like a Q, this way it looks like a G. G, how are you? The expression, just an expression, or a mechanism in which the ears here. Or if you spell it out. I like making potions. I talk, you let me talk, you listen, and then you talk, you interject while I talk. Or typing. Talking amongst me and you together face to face, having contact is like mixing potions up. I mix 2 potions here and 2 potions here, yet I have to bring them all together. Well, by mixing 2-2, and then 2-2 is me and my screen, seeing you at the other end, then you and your screen, and seeing me at the other end. Those are 2 tubes over here mixing up 2 tubes over here. But we're in full contact. We're taking 1 tube here, 1 tube here, and we're mixing it up. Everything has that motion. It's not this. Oh, shoot, look what they just wrote, and how can I write it back, and I can't see their expression. Without emptying the soul, there's no place in the whole to bring in more. And when the space is void, okay, when the space is void, or is it an air pocket? The mind, the anxiety, how we create what we do when we create certain thoughts in our minds. What happens to us psychologically? Is that it? How does that? So by me showing these numbers and how a word connects, and you can see it different, and you can say, no, 631 does not mean creation of the birth of man. It means the connection to the 9 lives of the cat. And why do I say all of this? Because 1 and 6 create 6 and 7, which multiplied, okay, showing me all areas divided equaling to 8 and 4, which means the sun birth inside Pluto. Why did I say that? I'm going to show you in a design why I said that. Because the X does that. And if you look at square paper, can you see the square paper? I'm not sure if you can see the square paper. Right? You see the square paper? Well, it takes each one of these, right? And it cuts it in half. So 4 equals 8. At the same time, I have 2 and 2 lines. 1 line here and 1 line here. At the same time, I have the in-between area here, the in-between area here, the in-between area here, and the in-between area there, equaling to 4. The first one that splits everything at 2 to 1, right? 2 to 1, which is actually half again, right? 4 and 8 is the last half. These are the 3 halves. 4, 8, 2, 1, 3, 6. These are all halves, right? 2, 3, 4, the vibration of Earth equals 8, 1, 6. 4, 3, 2, equivalent to 6, 8, 1. 168. Or 189 because it can be inverted. Right? 8 and 1 will always stay the same. 6 becomes, this will be always the same. Okay? And this and this will revert to each other. Well, how about if we did it this way and did it this way? Or how about we did it, we did it this way, right? And we did it this way. So now we have the percentage sign, right? With this in the area actually showing you 6, 8, 9, F inside this design. So in the same time you have this design over here. French, they would call it this, or they would call it this. The English would actually take that line over here, okay, and put a line up here and a line down there. They take the other line over here, they put a line here and a line here. So they'd have Z, and they would have N. If I use the center line and split it apart, okay, I split it apart and now have the outside of it. By creating the outside with the inside center, okay, I now create the H. The H, right? The H this way, the full box will create the H, the I, and the O. Io. Spanish says sun. Zion. In which this one over here is actually telling me 5, 1, 4. I can use 0, but 0 has many factors in it. And 2, because that's what the Z looks like. It looks like a 2. Backwards, right? Forward, turned upside down. One way would be maybe you see the way this points up, this one points down, this one points this way, this one points that way. The center is over here. This one will now say itself, I'm now either an F or a 7. This one can just say, hey, now look, we got two aces. Two aces inside the N, which is the 14th and 13th letter, telling me A, C, D, C, Son in creation of the Spirit. Spirit equals to 91, Son equals to 54. 1 and 3. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals 3 and 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 plus 4 is 7, equaling to 5 and 19. The 19th letter is, and the 5th letter, right? 519 is also this angle, right? This angle on the phone. But it's on this angle on the calculator on our PC. See? If I showed it to you on, you see? Right? But if I showed it to you on my phone, right? See on my phone it's going this way. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hold on a second. Trying to go through this whole thing quick, right? See, look, on the phone it goes down here and then it goes up here. Now, am I supposed to do this with the system? And remember, this area over here, are we going to use that for area space? Right? Do we use this for area space? Do you follow what I'm saying? In roulette, we have 12, 12, 12, and 12. Should we be using this as 9? But even though it's 12, 1 plus 2 equals to 3. So that way, 12, 13, 14. Or the next row becomes 2, 3, 4. Unless you use this as a 6. See the way it only shows 3 of the lines? Should it be showing 4 of the lines? The pharmaceutical one shows it up and down. Here it's showing me 6 with 6 empty spaces. Here it's showing me 9, 8 on the outside, 1 in the center. Here, if I take this star, put it over this pound key, I will have 6 turning around 9 plus 1 in the center core inside the 5 position. 1 in the center core inside the 5 position. Total is 6 and 1 is 7. 7 and 5 equals to the numeric value of the moon. 77 is the Christ. 57 is the moon. 74 is Jesus. 77 times 75. 77 times 75 equals to 5775. Christ electric moon. So, what do we call the moon? A projector. And that projector showed us gods and images. The easier it is for us to see the moon, the closer the moon may have been many, many years ago. 5 and 7 is 12, which equals to 3. 7 and 7 is 14, which equals to 5. We now have electric company creation through the sun into the E worlds. VW. Remember, a lot of stuff that I do, I'm going to stop for a minute. A lot of stuff that I do, or thoughts where I get them from, is what's new? Movies, cards, games, whatever. Oh, what a beautiful flower. Smells so good, I'll buy the perfume. Right? We believe, we understand things that sync with us. It's a nice pair of shoes. It's a nice purse. Look at the jewelry. I love the car. Oh my God, I want to get wasted. Cocaine, marijuana, and LSD, whatever drug you want, pharmaceuticals, doctor drugs, heroin. It doesn't matter. Legal, illegal, it doesn't matter as long as it has a name. Everything that possesses a name has a virtual, has an intellectual, and whatever else you can say it has. I heard it. I can read all the definitions, and even without the definitions, I can balance it off other words. Oh, it started with a H. Heroin, hell, heaven, help. 3 letters, 6 letters, 9 letters. there's a combination code in there that we can uncode up to a certain element that will tell us some kind of other story. In fact, everything I've done with you up to now is just a story from bouncing things off, mixing up words, keeping us entertained in front of the television set. Are you in front of the television set? Welcome to It's My Line. Oh, stay in line. Line, there's a lineup. Oh my God. Give me another line. Linus or minus? Linus or minus? Minus us. Minus. Minus us. So we were talking about 77. Now there's so many more things we can do with these numbers. Do you know how exciting this is? Besides alpha omega. Do you know this triangle can only bend down to here? And then this only down to here? Have you ever seen the actual alpha omega? I did it two different ways. One where I put it there and one where I put it there. And the reason for that is this will stop here and that will stop here. So when you're ticking and talking on the grandfather clock, it clicks here and it clocks there. It's not a grandmother clock. So just because it's a grandfather clock, just because it's grand, just grandmother, grandfather, both big, both grand in their way. Mother, mo, word, ocean, of earth, fa, there, 6 and 1, equaling to something to do with the communication, something to do with the cat, th equaling to Mother Earth. And again, we keep using the word Mother Earth, not Father Earth. So when you use Father Earth, okay, farther, farther, and farther away is Earth. Farther and farther away is Earth. How far is Earth from here? Now that we have that, we have to understand the R letter, right? Just like one can stand alone, but is not alone. So one can stand alone. Can one stand alone or one can't stand alone? Because in that matter, I'm just trying to think of the letter R, the letter H. The letter R, right, is in the A family. R in the A family. H is A-C-H-E. So you can already see 1, 3, 5 saying ace, ace in heaven. Each, ace. A before, no help with anything. R, two letters. But a lot of people say W. Maybe because it takes two of you to make one of these. Communication source from the other side. We may be human, but we're not made up this human body to have this mind. For me, I can hold on to breath for a certain period of time, but without the incoming from the alter world, from a world where our, let's say our communication network is, if they cut that off, I become dumb and stupid, right? Only being able to accomplish certain tasks or retain certain amount of information because you've cut me off from the star system. Star system is in the number 10 position. Star system in the 10 position, you have to look at the 10 card. If you actually look at this card, right, this could be the 11 card because there's 2 spots missing here. Right? 4 and 4. Just look at area space used. 4 and 4. The 6 has 3 and 3. So if the 6 has 3 and 3, it has 2 spots and 2 spots open. Do you follow what I'm saying? I have to get the 6 card out. I don't know. The videos just keep going on and on. So I have to get the 6 card out. And oh, here's the 6, but I wrote on it. See that? 1, 2, 3. So I would place 1 here and 1 here and 1 here and 1 here. And then obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I would have 6 equals to 15. 1 and 5 equals to 6. Now, it's probably been an hour since I started this video and I was on break in between. I guess I've got a little bit of an interruption. So I won't be able to continue in explaining the rest of the sequence of how this video began. And it began using, I'm just trying to look for the card. Yes, the card number 9. The 9 also says other things to us. It's showing us the voided spaces for the moon. It's showing us a 5 over here and the 4 that is in every card. It's showing us, in fact, 1, which is constant in 5 and 9, and 4, which is constant in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, in which 4 is an explanatory card, as well as 1, 2, 3, because it's the first of its kind. As 1 is the first of its kind, as 2 is an expression of two sides of where 4 takes place, of where is it rectangular or is it square? To obtain separation, do you understand what I'm saying? To obtain separation. To obtain separation, there's a whole new format that comes in here, because to obtain separation, are we online or offline? Remember, when you're online, you're in between all the squares. When you're offline, you're in between all the squares. No, when you're online, you're in between all the squares. When you're offline, you're in between each square. In between all the squares, and cutting a square in half is different. At the same time, Zion, Zohar, all of matrix or of our vibration is all split up and repeated. Zion, Zohar, why does the N and the R, how can they replace each other, where we had O-N, which is now replaced with A-R, O-N meaning the birth in the world of, and because it uses 14 and 15, which talks about Mars and the Sun and the DNA and the past. When you have I and O, like E-I-E-I-O together, the I and the O and the N actually is a particle of pi, especially the O letter. The reason I say the I letter, because it's part of 9 and 5, where 9 is found inside 5. 5 inside 9. And there's more than one 5. It's 55. I'll let you go for now, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I haven't even finished this video. So the difference between 6, 7, 3, 4, okay? The ace is inside the 9. The 6 is the in-between of all the numbers of the 9. So where you see 6 is 9, and if I had the 6 of diamonds, I would have to cut it out and show you how it overlaps. Just give me a second as I look for the 6 of diamonds. It's a magic trick. I found there it is. 6 of diamonds. And the 9 of diamonds. One fits into the other. It overlaps. When they overlap, it'll create the 3D square. Is that relevant? These will not overlap in the 6 of where the 7 is. Remember, diamonds, all the diamond cards are worth 2 to 1 over any other card. So, in the diamond suit, if you add up all the diamonds in the diamond suit, you will get a total of how many? From 1 through 9, you will get 45. You end up with 90. And then Jack, Queen, King, the number of cards or the number of numeric values. Jack, Queen, King. J is the 11th letter. J is the 10th letter. Queen as the Q as the 17th letter. J is 10. Q is 17. And which is a representation of Earth. 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 equals to that. And King is the 11th letter. So that's 27, 37, is 38. When you add 1 to 9 is 45. The total is 8307. Right over here. 10th letter, 17th letter, 11th letter. At the same time, we can do other things, finding codes. And that's basically it. This is where I get all my information from what's going on here. And in this, it's 4, 1, and 4. 4 up, 4 down, and 1 up. That's in the center. This card has a double value. If you add 1 through 13, it equals to a value of 91. If you add 1 through 9, it equals to a total of 45. Okay, 45, 10, and 36. 36 for Jack, Queen, King, the 10th, 11th, the 11th, 12th, and 13th card in the deck. okay, is 36. 10 for the 10 card, 45. The total is 91. When you flip these upside down, it becomes 182. Every other suit, okay, remember, upside down, right side up, I'm counting them all the same. It's just that this value stays the same. Do you follow what I'm saying? So these go both up and down. These go both up and down. This goes back up and down. There's more calculations. So you have 182 in this suit, and you have 91 times 3 other suits for a total of 273 for 3 suits, 182 for 1 suit. You have a total of 465. And that's going to start telling you another story. Anyways, I've said enough. Raphael 7286 on a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching. Sleep, my cat. Sleep. Hi, Kissy. How you doing, Kissy? You're on TV and radio. Say hello to Lassie.